We've known Ken for almost 5 years now. He was referred to us by a social worker at Alberta Hospital Ponoka.
I'm a terrible singer. I used to just I'd get up in the morning and I'd be, morning has broken, like restart.
Satellite House is a 6-bed group home for men. Our guys all come from various backgrounds. Some guys come from the streets, some guys come from psychiatric hospitals in the area. The group home is an independent living program, and our goal is to transition our clients out into the community so they can live successfully on their own.
Started my own business and I was really good at selling stuff, but I forgot to start making stuff, and pretty soon,
He was successful on his own for quite a number of years. He had started his own business, he owned his own home, but he did have a diagnosis of bipolar.
And I ended up being kind of suicidal and what have you, and ended up in a couple of different mental institutions in Camrose and then in Ponoka.
When Ken was admitted to the hospital, what he was experiencing within his illness was that at times he would be very manic and erratic and kind of all over the place, where he didn't sleep quite a bit and would be on the go. And that's typically like a cycle for people who have bipolar, and then they'll crash.
Howard doesn't play a lot of games.
No? When Ken got here, he was on probation. He was unstable on his medication. Some of the reports that we've seen in the hospital were stuff that we've never even ever seen from Ken in terms of his behavior. They said he was grumpy, and we've never ever seen that from him. He always did chores around here, always went the extra mile. Ken was the guy who would be shoveling the neighbors' walks every time it snowed, and even if he came home at 2 in the morning, he'd be out there making sure their walks were shoveled.
Well, I'm shoveling anyway. There's no point not stopping there, so I'd shovel their sidewalk in their snow. Peggy's Cove. This is just a shot of the lighthouse at Peggy's Cove.
He saved up his money and he flew himself to Nova Scotia, took himself on a little trip all on his own.
Yeah, that's the oldest Anglican church in North America, supposedly. Or in Canada, maybe, I'm not sure.
He likes to treat himself. He knew how much he could spend on that. He would pay his bills off, and it took time to get him to a place where he had money to take himself on a holiday, but he worked towards it.
And I've heard that Nova Scotia and well, pretty much all the maritime provinces are pretty nice, so I figured I'd, just see if I'd take a peek out there, see what they were like.
And had a fantastic holiday. Took lots of pictures, and we actually have different calendars around that he's made. He's made different calendars with his pictures.
I did a whole calendar of Nova Scotia, actually. I did the Mahone Bay, and I did the 3 churches on a picture, and I did Peggy's Cove at the lighthouse.
We're hands-on with the guys, grocery shopping, we're out there with them. It's not simply, here's your money, here's the grocery store, go out and do it. Recreation, walking in the community, being a part of where we live is a huge thing for us. I know for me, I have my neighbors and we're very friendly, and I want that for Satellite House. So when we're out with the guys, we're chatting with the neighbors, saying hello in the neighborhood, and teaching people to be good neighbors. And I think the biggest thing that we can do with the guys is role model that. So the support of the community is very important to the Satellite House. We're a group home that is not staffed 24 hours, so we're not here all of the time. The guys feeling that they fit in somewhere is important for them. And that's something that we strive towards a lot here, is to help the guys feel part of this community. Over at our halfway house, which is 101st Street Apartments, a couple blocks away, there's a community reintegration program, and Ken started attending that program. After he completed the program at Employabilities, he went on to be a call center operator for a local pizza chain. Well, it's very heartwarming when they're successful, because you walk the road with them and you're so happy for them. When Ken moved out, for example, all of us were like, it's so bittersweet, because we don't want him to go. He brings joy to our everyday, and we look forward to him being here. But yet it's time for him to go, and he wants to go.
Starting over and getting out of Ponoka and starting a chance to start a new life, to start over again. Because otherwise, if I wouldn't have been for Satellite House, I might still be in Ponoka.
It's like a start to finish story lots of times, and we get to see them come in with their struggles. I think the biggest thing about Satellite House and why it's successful is lots of these guys never had a home before. And they come in, and that's the first thing we do, is make them feel comfortable in a home. You can't really work on addictions and your criminal justice status and all those kinds of things that fall into place. They don't fall into place unless you have a home, a roof over your head, food in your belly, and people who care about you.
I think the belief that all people have the power to change, that all people are to be treated with dignity, and that they need to be held accountable and expected to succeed. And I think those three things coming together that are reflected within our values, that are reflected within our approach to the people that we serve, makes the difference.